Hi everybody, welcome to video number 3. Now we want to put everything together, but before we start, let's just make a short wrap up what we have done in the first 2 videos. So we have created a speech-to-text function and a text-to-speech function. Then we have taken a look how to work with the Mapquest API. Okay, here we started with this developer portal. And we have taken a look at the documentation, okay, at the data format, data structure, and we have actually created a logic how to get the data which we want in order to be able to create, or in order to be able to get the distance between 2 different cities, okay? And now we need to implement this whole logic, which I will copy now, okay, in the code building part. That means here I've just copied this block. Let me go ahead and create a new function. Let's say it's distance_info. And now I want to paste everything here. And also make sure you do the indentation properly. It's very important. Okay, so, and I also told you, we don't want just to have this raw data in text form, okay? So what we want to do, we want to make everything more interactive. That means here, when I call this function, I want our assistant to talk to us, okay? That means now, let me use the assistant talk function, and she should say to us, sure, let me know the starting point, okay? Now, the assistant is asking us for the starting point. And as you can remember, here we have provided Hamburg, okay? But now this should not be hard-coded. We want the system listen to our voice, okay, and save the city, which we say to our microphone, into this variable here, okay? This is the logic for now. So now let's go for assistant listen, all right? So assistant listen, then once she has captured the first city, we want to wait for 1 second. Okay, so here, as you can remember, we have imported in the beginning the time module. Now let's make use of it. Time.sleep, and we want to wait for 1 second. All right. Afterwards, the assistant should talk to us again and ask us. So let me just copy this one, copy this, paste it here, and ask us for the second city or the destination city, right? That means now I go for all right, and now tell me the final destination, okay? All right, and then in the next step, again, we don't want to hard code the second city. The assistant should listen to us again, okay? So that means I can copy this line, copy this one, paste it here, and now I want to have location 2, okay? Location 2 is right now that the assistant is listening to us and we don't want to hard code this city, okay? So this is actually it. Then we have told into our microphone, location 1, location 2, okay? The system has captured it, and then we want to put this location 1, location 2 into our endpoint or to our request URL. Okay, this is what we want to have. Instead of hard coding, this should be actually dynamic and flexible. Okay, this is actually what we want to achieve once we call this function here. Okay, and now what I also want to do is, let me just put the distance key directly here. Okay, and separate it a little bit. Okay, so this should actually look fine. All right, so now I guess this, okay, so the only addition I have to do is here, when we get back our result, which in the example session was this one, okay, so we still want to have it in text form, but of course, we also want that our assistant tells us the result with the voice, okay? That means let's make use of the assistant talk function, and here let's provide distance result. Okay, so we have two results actually, right? One in text form and one in speech form. This should be it. So let's see. Okay, this was the first function we had to create. The next function is the reply function. That means here I have assistant reply. Okay, and now I have to provide here one input parameter. Let's go for text. And then let's say if I mention the keyword distance, okay, then I want to capture, or not to capture, but to invoke the distance info function. Okay, so let me just choose it. So distance info is here. All right. So let's say I have this input parameter text, and if distance is part of the text, then this distance info will be invoked. Okay, hope this makes sense. And finally, we have also to create our execution function. That means here I want to go for execute underscore assistant. Okay, and then in the next step, what I need to do is I want to make it again more interactive. Okay, so once we invoke this function here, sorry, it's not Laura. I guess Laura was the name of the assistant from one of the previous tutorials. Now we just have assistant talk. Okay, assistant talk, and she should say to us, "Hi, I am here to support you. Okay, can you please tell me your name?" Okay, now she will ask for our name. Then the assistant will listen to us. Let's choose another variable. Listen name equals to assistant listen. Okay. Afterwards, again, the assistant should talk back to us. That means hi. Then the name, which we have spoken to our microphone. What can I do for you? All right, this is what the assistant should tell us. Afterwards, the next stuff looks actually like this. Let's go for listen underscore query, because now it's listening to what we want to ask. Okay, let's go again for assistant listen and capture what we say inside listen query in the listen query variable. Okay, we also want to print this out, so print listen query. Okay, and now comes actually the most important part. We have assistant reply. We want to invoke it. Okay, so it's assistant reply, and then as our input parameter, we want to put or to paste the listen query itself. Okay, so now this comes actually all together. Okay, we integrate everything together. Listen query. Okay, again, we invoke the assistant reply function, and the input parameter is the listen query here. Okay, and then if I say inside this listen query distance, or if I mention distance, okay, it will capture it, and then we invoke this distance info function, which is this logic here. Okay, I hope it's not too confusing. I hope it makes sense. Now let's see what we get if we run it. So now let's go for execute assistant. And now let's cross our fingers and let's see if this works. Okay, let's go.
Hi, I am here to support you. Can you please tell me your name?
Alex.
Hi Alex, what can I do for you?
Can you please tell me the distance between two cities?
Sure. Let me know the starting point.
London.
All right, and now tell me the final destination.
Liverpool.
The distance between London and Liverpool is 339.05 kilometers.
Okay, so this was the actually the example. It worked, and you see here when I have written please, I have a typo, okay, and it should be actually please. And you hear it when she says, or when the assistant says this word with her voice. It sounds very ugly if you have a typo, okay? But now we have fixed it. And so here I can, for example, mention run function, okay? And this was actually the whole logic behind behind this tutorial, and behind that what we want to get, okay? It was the distance between two cities. And here I've chosen London and Liverpool. And actually what I wanted to show you is you can choose actually whatever city you want to. You don't need to hard code anything, okay? If you follow the logic which we have created, or which we have talked about here in this tutorial, okay? I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any kind of questions, any kind of feedback, please let me know, and I would be happy to see you in one of the upcoming tutorials, okay? So I wish you all the best, and I see you in a later video, okay? Bye bye.